Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen. Sallallahu wasallam wa barak ala nabina Muhammadin wa ala alihi wa sahbihi ajma'in. Good evening, brothers and sisters. Thank you for joining us this evening. Brothers and sisters, recently we've been talking about the role of religion in prevention. Prevention of disease and illnesses in general, and prevention of contracting COVID-19 in particular. Yesterday we began speaking about yet another spiritual immunization, regular recitation of the Quran. In that discussion, we mentioned that the entire Quran is a protection and cure from disease. But we also said that there are some chapters and verses which are better suited, more inclined, and more effective in healing than others. And we presented one of them, Surah Al-Fatiha, the greatest surah in the Quran. Today we will look at a few more chapters and verses, the type of protection they provide, and when and how to use them. The first Quranic immunizer on the docket is the final three chapters of the Quran, Surah Al-Ikhlas and Al-Mu'awadhatain, Surah Al-Falaq and Surah Al-Nas, famously known as Al-Mu'awadhatain, the two chapters in which refuge is sought. These three chapters, when recited 3 times in the morning and evening, will suffice the one who recites them from every harmful and injurious thing. Abu Dawood, rahimahullah ta'ala, has collected a hadith on the authority of Abd'Llah ibn Khubayb, on the authority of his father, Khubayb, who relates that the Prophet ﷺ told him, قُلْ هُوَ اللَّهُ أَحَدٌ وَالْمُعَاوَذَتَيْنِ قُلْ هُوَ اللَّهُ أَحَدٌ وَالْمُعَاوَذَتَيْنِ حين تمسي وحين تصبح 3 مرات تكفيك من كل شيء. He said, sallallahu alaihi wasallam, recite, say He is Allah, the one and only, and the 2 chapters of seeking refuge 3 times, when the evening comes and again in the daytime. They will suffice you from every harmful thing. It was also the Prophet's practice, sallallahu alaihi wasallam, to make ruqyah for himself with these 3 chapters every night before sleeping. As we find the hadith collected by Bukhari on the authority of Aisha radiallahu anha, that the Prophet ﷺ, every night before going to sleep, when he would come to his bed, he would cup his hands and he would recite the last 3 surahs of the Quran, Surah Al-Ikhlas wal Mu'awadhatain, into his hands. He would blow into them 3 times and then take those hands and begin wiping his body with the blessings of the recitation and the blowing. He would begin with his head, then his face, and then the entire front of his body as far as he could reach, and then follow that up with wiping whatever he could reach from the rear or the backside of his body. The second Quranic immunizer is Ayat al-Kursi, the verse of the footstool of Allah, the Exalted. This is verse number 255 of Surah Al-Baqarah, the second surah of the Quran. In the hadith of Abu Hurairah, collected by Bukhari, we are taught that when we lie down to go to sleep, we should lie down on our right sides and cup our cheek in our hand. And when we do that, we should recite Ayatul Kursi. And if we do that, the Prophet ﷺ told us, لَنْ يَزَالَ عَلَيْكَ مِنَ اللَّهِ لَنْ يَزَالَ مَعَكَ مِنَ اللَّهِ حَافِظٌ وَلَنْ يَقْرَبَكَ شَيْطَانٌ حَتَّى تُصْبِحْ. He said, sallallahu alaihi wasallam, that if we do that, a guardian angel will continue to protect us and no devil will be able to approach us until we awaken. The third and final Quranic immunizer is the last 2 verses of Surah Al-Baqarah. Al-Bukhari has related on the authority of Abd'Llah ibn Mas'ud that the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he said, من قرأ بالآيتين من آخر سورة البقرة في ليلة كفتاه. Whoever recites the last 2 verses of Surah Al-Baqarah in the night, they will suffice him. Some of the scholars have said that the meaning of kafatah, they will suffice him, is that these verses will be sufficient to protect him from any disease, harm, or injury that threatens him that evening. While others have asserted that the meaning is that these 2 verses will suffice him from every evil and protect him from every adversity. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala make us from those. And I just want to say that I know that for some people, some of these verses, they may not know them by heart. And it's worthwhile to learn them. And it's worthwhile to learn them as a family. We can sit together and we can read from the Quran and study them and recite them until what? Until we memorize them. And then we can use them appropriately at the appropriate times and in the appropriate manner to protect ourselves from the things that we fear, whether COVID-19 or any other harmful or injurious thing. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala make us from those who listen to the talk and follow the best of it. May He make us from those who immunize themselves and use the Quran as a remedy and a treatment and a protection from everything, every illness, every infection, every disease, and every harmful thing. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala make us from those who, when they use the Quran the way it was prescribed, He gives them their protection, gifts them from His mercy their protection. إنه ولي ذلك والقادر عليه. هذا وصلى الله وسلم وبارك على نبينا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته.